This video is going to start off with my favorite thing ever, and that is social commentary. Now, unfortunately, it's important to talk about social issues because such things can wind up affecting policy and therefore all of us. What I want to talk about today is a great old topic that I was just so looking forward to revisiting, and that is the OK sign. Unfortunately, things are not okay, otherwise I wouldn't be making a video. But anyways, the Anti-Defamation League, a place that I wouldn't even consider to be an authority on how to groom my nut hairs, has indicated that this is sometimes a white supremacist symbol. And apparently, it's supposed to mean white power with W and P. Wait a second, that's not right. Oh, there we go. Nope, still don't see it. Although, pretty funny thing is, even on the page, if you look down the bottom, one of the pictures says white pride, which, you know, I never understood the whole concept of pride. It's a benevolent form of racism or sexism, whatever. Hey, I should be happy because I was born X race or X gender or X sex or X sexuality. But if people want to celebrate benevolent racism and have pride based on their melanin count, sure, why not? If you look on the page on the Anti-Defamation League, it reads as something at best blitheringly irresponsible and at worst propaganda, because no one believes it's a white supremacist symbol, and they don't put until the very end that maybe you shouldn't overreact and think it's a white supremacist symbol every time you see it. You know, the Anti-Defamation League seems to me to be another group of people that just profit off of telling you what to hate and fear. Which is pretty much how I feel about the Southern Poverty Law Center, mainstream media, Trump, Sarkeesian, anybody that all the screamers on Twitter follow, and religion. So this particular instance I'm talking, or why I'm talking about it, is because some guy gets fired from Universal Studios for doing this on the kid's picture, which is on its face is like, what the fuck ever. Now, I can understand that, you know, you're around bitchy parents and screaming kids, and maybe you hate your job, and if just one particular kid decided to be a big pain in the dick and you said, fuck it, I'm gonna quit, and chose this way as to resign by trolling the picture, well then, epic resignation, my dude. But otherwise, yeah, I don't see how you would keep your job if you decide to just throw any kind of random shit in somebody's picture that, you know. But, unfortunately, it's getting reported that he flashed a white power symbol and a hate symbol, and it's fucking ridiculous. Again, more selling hate and fear to keep us all divided and skewing or trying to change the narrative on things in an untruthful manner. Speaking of people screaming and, well, Twitter in general, yes, Kamala Harris wants Trump banned from Twitter. The guy whose account was designated by the courts as a public forum, and I believe the same thing went for Ocasio-Cortez and some others, because they were using their personal accounts to talk about government policies. Yeah. So, Since the government officials' accounts are public or considered public forums, does that mean that I can't be banned from Twitter because it's a way for me to interact with public officials? Would that be generally considered a violation of free speech? Something interesting to look into. But, personally, I have no problem with censorship. I mean, if people want censorship, then why not censor them? I mean, if you're asking for it, I mean, if you're not asking for censorship, then you shouldn't be censored. But if you're asking for censorship, then yeah, why not give it to people that call for it? I mean, it just makes sense to me. That seems fair, right? And speaking of censorship, you had that whole Google thing from the Project Veritas video that came out a while ago, and some people act shocked. Give me a fucking break. Let's not forget that Google is in bed with China, trying to develop their censored internet. It seems like they're so in bed with China that you might as well call them Woggle or Guhui or something. But yeah, these companies are trying to censor people. That has been known for a long time. Actually, they are effectively censoring people. And speaking of censorship, the FCC and the net neutrality thing was ruled on in a federal court recently that upheld that the FCC can say fuck it, no more net neutrality. But at the same time, they can't say, oh, we're not going to do anything, and then we are going to do something. So meaning they can't block states from instituting their own net neutrality laws. I see the states with the worst net neutrality laws being all the red states, because yeah, that's pretty much what happens. I don't know, this whole net neutrality thing, like I said before, I can understand one side from an ecological perspective and the whole point of how the internet works and data getting from one point to another and having to relay through other points. That in and of itself does merit a worthwhile argument. However, the way that all the companies want to go around stripping net neutrality, once again, censorship, is complete and utter horseshit. So there's a lot to consider when we talk about net neutrality, and not just the talking points that everybody on all sides are screaming. And really, that's what everything just becomes, right? Everybody anymore is screaming. I mean, you look at politics anymore, and it just seems like a bunch of rich people arguing with each other on how to fuck over the rest of us. And public discourse becomes this fuckfestahedron of talking points. But the average person doesn't buy what the screamers are selling. Nobody believes the mainstream media, because they're all filled with CIA agents and whatnot, and especially not the federally elected politicians. So I'm going to leave it there. Until next video.